Hello, everyone. If you caught my announcement yesterday that Durham has issued some more subpoenas, it may be indictments as well. I'm not sure, but I'm just going to read this article by Victoria Taft, posted last night on PJ Media. Hello, everyone. It's Michael here at Sweet Home Maricopa. By the way, my son actually was the hero of his football game last night. It was a Hollywood ending. He was playing, first time starting, brand new to the team. He caught an interception and ran it back for a touchdown to win the game. I'm not kidding. And this hat is just to cover up my bedhead. I'm about to go on a run. So, all right, I'm going to read. Go into the description below. This article is linked there, as well as some other content of mine. More federal indictments issued against Hillary's lawyer for Russia hoax op. I'm going to read it all. The special counsel tasked with chasing down the origins of the Russia collusion conspiracy perpetrated against candidate and President Donald Trump reportedly has issued more criminal indictments in federal court. A federal grand jury convened by John Durham, the former Connecticut U.S. attorney, issued the indictments as a follow-up to the indictment of Hillary Clinton campaign lawyer Michael Sussmann, according to reports from National Review and CNN. CNN reports that the news of the indictment came from, quote, people briefed on the matter. Here's an excerpt from CNN. The grand jury subpoenas for documents came earlier this month after Durham charged Clinton campaign lawyer Michael Sussmann with lying to the FBI in a September 2016 meeting. During that meeting, Sussmann handed over data purporting to show links between the Trump organization and Russia's Alpha Bank. That tip became part of the FBI's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election, but the FBI ultimately couldn't find evidence of a link. In seeking additional documents from Sussmann's former law firm, Perkins Coie, investigators from the special counsel's office appear to be sharpening their focus on the Democratic political machinery during the 2016 campaign and efforts to tie Trump to Russia. Perkins Coie's clients in 2016 included the Clinton campaign and the Democratic National Committee. The law firm also hired on the campaign's behalf a research company that commissioned the dossier from ex-British spy Christopher Steele that alleged that Trump was compromised by Russia. This is a refresher for everyone. That's the end of the CNN excerpt. Durham also appears to be delving deeper into the dealings between Perkins Coie and the man known as, quote, Tech Executive One, who used his government contract, apparently with the Department of Defense, to contrive Trump-Russia connections. Technofog, this is a guy on Substack, which is a independent journalist platform. Technofog has been connecting dots between this additional reported indictment and the reporting from the New York Times alleging that Tech Executive One is Rodney Joffe, who's also a Perkins Coie client. Joffe tried to frame Trump with DNS data he allegedly lifted from the Defense Department. Woo! It's getting spicy. Here's a Technofog's tweet. New York Times gives an answer on the data used by the Sussmann et al. Alpha Bank researchers. It was from DARPA. Relevance to the criminal inquiry. What was the classification of that data? What were the restrictions on its use and dissemination? They should be concerned. And he has an excerpt here, I think, from the Defense Department. The involvement of the researchers... an excerpt from something, I don't know. The involvement of the researchers traces back to the spring of 2016. DARPA, the Pentagon's research funding agency, wanted to commission data scientists to develop the use of so-called DNS logs, records of what servers have prepared to communicate with other servers over the internet as a tool for hacking investigations. I'm going to move on from that excerpt. Look closer at Durham's indictment of Michael Sussmann. There lurks potential charges against the Alpha Bank research group for using classified government data for their own political operation. All right, ready to get into the weeds a bit? Good. Reporter Chuck Ross of the Washington Free Beacon opined on Twitter that these new additional indictments, which are still under wraps, could explain why another Democrat attorney, Mark Elias, quit Perkins Coie right before Sussmann's indictment prompted his oust. Right before his indictment prompted his ouster from the same law firm. A tweet from Chuck Ross. Durham subpoenaed Perkins Coie Durham subpoenaing Perkins Coie gives more credence to the theories about why Mark Elias suddenly left the firm a couple months ago. I'm going to skip the rest of that tweet. Elias is the Clinton lawyer who hired Fusion GPS, which then hired former MI6 spy Christopher Steele to create evidence of the Russia collusion scandal dossier and shop it to reporters and intelligence operatives. Some believe the plan to smear Trump with the fake Russian scandal was hatched to distract from the Hillary Clinton email and server scandal, which was huge in the months leading to the election. Clinton deleted thousands of emails against the House Select Committee on Benghazi's legal order to preserve them. Clinton destroyed the emails and used a service to bleach-bit her computers and servers. And don't forget the alleged DNC server hack, which also fueled the Russia collusion storyline. Former Perkins Coie attorney Sussman was also the attorney for the company CrowdStrike, which was brought in by Sussman to check the DNC servers. The same day the company was hired to look at the DNC servers, CrowdStrike proclaimed the Russians were responsible. The FBI, which was never allowed to look at the computers at the DNC, took their word for it. At Substack, Technofog provides some additional background on what surely looks like a conspiracy. Here's an excerpt from Technofog on Substack. Finally, there's a question of what started it all, the hacking of the DNC servers. It was the DNC who called Sussman after they were hacked. His fingerprints were all over their response. After the DNC told him of the hack, Sussman called his old friend CrowdStrike's Sean Henry. Quote, the CrowdStrike team concluded that the intruders were Russian government operatives on that same day. A remarkable turnaround. Based on what we know of Sussman, we must seriously consider if Sussman called CrowdStrike because he wanted them to create a narrative to fit his client's political agenda. After all, CrowdStrike was retained by Perkins Coie, and its work was subject to the attorney-client privilege, which would generally provide cover for whatever they were doing. And that's the end of the excerpt from Technofog at Substack. Hillary Clinton was apparently willing to shell out millions and millions to create a deep state-like conspiracy to make Donald Trump look worse and more conniving than she is. Indeed, the media, intelligence community, Department of Justice, and FBI were only happy to help. In his own handwritten note, former CIA Director John Brennan briefed President Obama in July of 2016 about the faked-up Clinton scandal. In the declassified notes, Brennan wrote that Hillary Clinton had approved, quote, a proposal from one of her foreign policy advisors to vilify Donald Trump by stirring up a scandal claiming interference by the Russian security service, close quote. Whoa! Maybe some of you know all of this, but this is a refresher. 6 months later, President Obama and then Vice President Joe Biden were briefed on the Trump campaign spying stemming from the fake Hillary campaign hoax. That Oval Office meeting was used to contrive a way to go after Trump National Security Advisor designee General Michael Flynn. Joe Biden suggested they charge Flynn with a Logan Act violation. This is a good summation. A tweet from Charlie Savage actually gets into it later. The New York Times, which is all of a sudden quite interested in the chicanery of the FBI in this case and in the Capitol riot prosecutions, identified the players referred to in the Sussman indictment. This is the tweet from the New York Times. For 5 years, the identities of the data experts who identified the odd cyber links and theorized they could be covert Trump-Russia communications have been shrouded. Here are their identities. The cyber experts' identities have been shrouded. They are April Lorenz, Rodney Joff, and two Georgia Tech computer scientists, Manos Atonakakis and David Dagon. This latest set of indictments appear to show that Durham has more people in his sights. Indeed, as you can see for yourself, there appear to be many, many targets out there. Half the country believes there's no such thing as equal justice under the law anymore. It would be nice to see these high-level conspiracists finally get what they deserve. After all, this all set the table not only for the 2016 election, but for Trump's impeachments and dirtying him up for the 2020 election. That's a hell of a blow to the body politic. All right. Durham is on it. Again, I'll link this in the description below if you want to read it for yourself.